I'm gonna show you how to save thousands of dollars on any car, even if you have to order it from the factory. If you don't know, my name is Tommy. Been in the car business most of my adult life. Now I negotiate car deals. Enough about me, let's talk about this comment. First off, these tips can be used for anybody, no matter if you're factory ordering or not. But I do want to put some emphasis on ordering as it's been asked so many times. So let's talk about first off, what is factory ordering? The first thing we need to know when negotiating these deals is we need to know the difference between in transit and factory ordering. So an in transit means that a car is on the way, meaning that the dealership has already been allocated this car and they are going to get it. Now, factory ordering is saying, hey, none of the cars make sense for me, and I'm gonna order this car and have it built just for me from the factory. Now, there is a huge difference between the negotiability of the two. And if we were to put the negotiability on a scale, the number one vehicle to negotiate is a car on the lot, then in transit, then ordering. Now, all three can be negotiated. Let me teach you how. So the first tip to factory ordering is don't factory order. I know you're still gonna be able to negotiate. I'm gonna explain how in a minute, but the first step is really widen your search. I would recommend looking at least 1,000-mile radius if you can't find the car you exactly want. Don't be as picky as knowing that you will get a better deal on a car on the lot. It happens all the time. So if it's a 1,000-mile radius, that gives you some options. And I promise you, plenty of dealerships will pay for shipping or meet you in the middle of shipping, or covering shipping will definitely eat the savings versus you just factory ordering. Secondly, ask for vehicles that are on transit. Now, plenty of dealerships nowadays just add them to their website, but check to see if these vehicles are available. If your car is missing one or two features and that's it, or one or two accessories, you should be negotiating on the dealership cars that are on the lot or in transit. Don't factory order. It's not worth the savings you're gonna potentially lose. And this goes for even if you're not ordering a vehicle. Always find the vehicle on the lot. You're always gonna get a better deal. And even if you're looking farther away, it is not hard to ship a car. There are two ways that a dealership can do in factory ordering car. A, they can take a deposit, they can order the car and not discuss pricing at all. You know what the MSRP is, but that's it. The second way is actually going to be where they negotiate the price right up front. That's normally the dealerships I like to work with. You can negotiate either way, but if you're able to talk numbers up front and get a price set in stone, that's the better way to do it. And you might say, Tommy, dealerships aren't willing to do that. But as dealerships are getting more and more desperate, they're more than willing to negotiate on these vehicles now. So understand dealerships don't like to factory order, but if they have to, they will. Now, if the dealership won't do that and you can't find a dealership that will, let me teach you how to negotiate on a deal that's coming in. Bigger dealerships are gonna be more willing to negotiate on these ordered cars. What I normally do is I look on a dealership website to see which dealership just has discounts on their cars right out of the gate. Now, these might not always be the most accurate because there can be accessories and things along those lines. But that being said, we want to make sure that we're actually looking at the dealership website and ordering from a big dealership. That will give us more negotiability when the car gets there. Now, one thing you probably won't be able to negotiate up front is the value of your trade, especially if it's going to take months. That is pretty standard in the industry, and it's just because values of cars change all the time. So it doesn't make sense for them to value your trade. So understand if you want to get rid of the trade early, you certainly can, but that is not something you're going to be able to negotiate on. Almost no dealership will give you a value on the car until it gets there. Once the car arrives, I recommend doing Carvana, CarMax, and Vroom to get a very fresh understanding of what the car is worth and then negotiate from there. Again, a really good value when you're doing factory ordering is negotiate heavily on the trade. Try to get more than what you think the car is worth, because they might negotiate on that or negotiating on the price of the car. And there is leverage for a consumer, because realistically, if a dealership doesn't sell this car, they have to sell it. This is part of the rules of dealerships have it called allocation. If the dealership doesn't sell the proper allocation, they will hurt on inventory in the later months. And these could be hot vehicles they could be selling. So they need to sell every single unit. So when something all of a sudden happens and they're not able to sell that unit and they might not feel confident they can sell it, that could damper their plan. So they're more than willing to give a discount if you're not willing to buy that car at MSRP. But I'm gonna reiterate it over and over again. The best way to get a deal is going to be getting a car on the lot or in transit. You're gonna get the best deals that way, especially when one's on lot. I will always try to find a car that is in a wide area and more than willing to try to pay the shipping or have the dealership pay for the shipping and negotiate that way rather than negotiating a car or factory ordering. And the real reason is there's a lot of unknowns. If you do all this process and somehow the car gets there and they don't negotiate, you're kind of stuck with either ordering another car or having to do this whole thing again. That's why I emphasize it's not even coming down to the cash savings, and more comes down to the time saving if something was to go wrong. Again, the most foolproof way is to buy from a big dealership that's already offering discounts and then assume that discount on the new car. Because if that car hits the lot and they're discounting all the other new cars, they're gonna discount that one as well. So you have a higher likelihood to get that discounted. I know this is a shorter, longer video talking about factory ordering and this, but I know this question's been asked a lot. And I was a little nervous about doing it because I don't know how many people wanna hear this. So if you guys like content like this, I want you to like, follow, subscribe. Thank you guys so much and have a great day.